Grace Caffee, Fairfield FFA. This is Dean. Dean is an Indiana farmer. Over the past 50 years, he has milked cows, fed steers, and grown corn, soybeans, wheat, and alfalfa. 2 years ago, Dean and his wife were recognized by the governor as the owners of a Hoosier sesquicentennial farm, meaning that Dean's family has farmed that land for 150 years. He even built his own home right next to the house he grew up in. The couple have also raised 3 children on that farm. His 2 oldest daughters are college professors, and his younger son, a software engineer. While Dean loves the agricultural community, he is ready to slow down, spend more time in Florida, and less time worrying about the price of corn or if it's going to rain again soon. Dean is ready to retire. It is important to him that his family's legacy is preserved. With all 3 children working away from the farm, how will he accomplish this worthy goal? In America today, the average age of a farmer is 57 years old. In Indiana, the average age of retirement is 63. Dean is 71, meaning that he is not alone in his desire to retire from farming. For many retiring farmers, they wish to see their farms continue as a viable concern. And because 94% of farms are family-owned, it is difficult for these farmers to imagine passing the farm down to anyone not related to them. Remember, Dean's farm is a sesquicentennial farm, and he marks the 3rd generation of his family to till that land. What can farmers like Dean do when their children have all chosen career paths away from the farm? According to Andrew Brannon, an attorney with the North Carolina Farm Transition Network, the first step to a successful farm succession plan is to take an in-depth look at who is being considered to take over the farm. Often, the first consideration goes to a family member. For farmers like Dean, that isn't always an option. For a future-minded agricultural producer who enjoys helping others, another consideration could go to a local young person with the desire and determination to farm. This should be someone that the farmer has known for some time and has had the opportunity to observe their work ethic. Often, it is someone who has worked for the farmer during harvest or planting. It is important to have a professional discussion with the potential future operator to determine their interest and to begin to form a plan that gradually eases them into a leadership position. Dean has begun this step by finding someone to farm his land. His young neighbor Andrew is graduating from high school this year and is very interested in beginning a farm in his hometown. Dean has known Andrew since he was very young and has been hiring him to do chores since Andrew was in 3rd grade. Dean has also begun talking with his children about how he plans to pass down the farm and how that will affect their inheritance. They also have many discussions about the financial aspects of the farm and how they have saved for retirement. Dean and his wife have also begun to form a gradual succession plan, including Andrew and his father in the discussions, as Andrew plans to attend college before fully committing to the farming operation. The second step in a farm succession plan is to complete a net worth analysis and determine the potential income of all assets. Potential income for retiring farmers might look like land sales and rents, equipment and storage lease agreements, cost and revenue sharing, or even consulting fees. If the retiring farmer wishes to continue any farm work into retirement, it is important to discuss and agree upon that rate up front. Dean's 3 children share a desire to one day own the family farm. So, Dean and Andrew have negotiated a fair cash rent agreement that allows the young farmer some flexibility along the way. Together, they inventoried tools and equipment, determining which pieces would be critical for ongoing operations. An attorney helped the two draft a rent-to-own agreement on the essential tools and equipment. Dean plans to liquidate the rest over time to spread out the cash flow and lessen his tax burden. Finally, the attorney also helped the two agree on lease for existing on-farm storage for grain and equipment. Finally, Brandon recommends determining what tools you will use for transferring assets, management, and income. An important part of this step is building a team. The team should include a certified public accountant, an attorney, and the farmer's family. Building this team allows for a smoother transition experience and helps to navigate the transition. Before meeting with professionals, it is important to have a plan ready to look at, and they will help you implement it. The North Carolina Farm Transition Network is an extremely helpful resource for retiring farmers, as it has many sources about farm transition planning from all over the country. Dean's team included an accountant, an attorney, they consulted an appraiser, and they also used a Purdue website to look at cash rent models. The process took about 6 months, from June to December. Dean isn't just a farmer I know. He's my grandfather. I've often heard many conversations about the farm, and I grew up playing in the haymow of his old barn. In fact, Andrew and I played together when we were younger. Watching them begin this process has been very interesting. Recently, my grandfather took in his last load of beans to be sold. The man at the plant remarked that it was the end of an era. My grandfather replied in his usual careful way, "I guess so, but I don't feel bad about it." From my grandmother's perspective, the gradual transition was the best way to go because the equipment is still close by and my grandfather can still help with repairs, giving him something to do. "Much better than an auction," she said. "It would be too hard to see everything going at once." By picking a successor, completing a net worth analysis, and building a team, my grandparents have been able to begin a farm succession plan that will allow their farm to be continued to use to feed the nation.